Where are you right now?
We're dreaming?
Welcome to WatchMojo. And today we're looking at the most epic, mind-bending, and creative science fiction films released since 2000.
You want to get through this? Do as I say.
We're excluding animated and superhero films with sci-fi elements, as there's large enough categories to deserve independent recognition. Number 30, Edge of Tomorrow. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt shine in this adaptation of Hiroshi Sakurazaka's All You Need Is Kill. Set in the midst of a detrimental war against aliens, it follows an army major who's forced into combat and immediately dies. Luckily for him, he gets trapped in a time loop, teaming up with a war hero previously stuck in a loop to find a way to defeat their invaders.
Find me when you wake up. What? Come find me when you wake up.
The film's engaging premise offers tons of creative fun with killing the heroes over and over. It never gets overly bleak, with Cruise and Blunt turning in charming performances.
So maybe there's some way I can transfer it to you.
I've tried everything, it doesn't work.
I mean, have you tried all the options?
Oh, you mean sex? Yeah, tried it.
While it didn't impress at the box office, it's much better than we initially imagined. Number 29, Sunshine. In 2057, an astronaut crew is sent to reignite the dying sun with a powerful bomb. As dangerous as the mission is already, a deranged survivor from the previous mission disrupts humanity's last hope for survival.
Are you an angel? Has the time come? I've been waiting so long.
The versatile director Danny Boyle brings some of everything to Sunshine. What starts out as an ethereal space adventure ends up being the ideal balance between huge action and claustrophobic horror. It's a clear homage to art sci-fi classics like 2001 and Solaris, distinguished by Boyle's signature high-concept style. Never mind a stellar cast that maintains the journey's human stakes.
We're gonna die out here. Like the other crew. I know it. So do you.
A brilliant example of minimalist sci-fi presented as an epic, Sunshine is a classic in its own right. Number 28, Coherence. This thriller proves that sci-fi doesn't need a big budget to completely enthrall you. During a dinner party, 8 friends discover that a strange comet passing overhead gives them access to alternate dimensions. Or, at least, alternate versions of the home they find themselves in.
Because the reality where I am from, my best friend didn't sleep with my wife.
Hugh, do you not understand what I'm saying? This all started tonight, and if there are a million different realities, I have slept with your wife in every one of them.
Seeing the characters dig deeper, turn on each other, and interact with alternate versions of themselves is exceptionally compelling. It's immensely impressive how writer-director James Ward Burkett was able to come up with such a deep story with almost no outside resources. And by no outside resources, we don't mean other dimensions.
This whole night we've been worrying. There's some dark version of us out there somewhere. What if we're the dark version?
Number 27, The Martian. 36 years after Alien, Ridley Scott returned to survival sci-fi with a very different tone and loftier ambitions. The Martian follows the aftermath of a failed Mars colonization mission that accidentally left its botanist behind.
I'm alive, obviously, but I'm guessing that's going to come as a surprise to my crewmates and to NASA. And to the entire world, really. As
he must single-handedly terraform the red planet to survive, the movie hypothesizes some hard science in an exciting way. It also gets into the messy politics of space travel in every sense. Scott delivers the intelligence of Andy Weir's acclaimed novel while expertly commanding a massive production and all-star cast.
I'm the one who decides what's best for the crew. They deserve to know.
Once there's a real rescue plan, we'll tell them. Otherwise, it's moot.
Matt Damon can carry 2.5 hours on charm alone. It all engineered an innovative blockbuster that hit with critics and audiences. Intimate yet adventurous and all around smart, The Martian is otherworldly entertainment. Number 26. Upgrade. The perils of cybernetics and AI collide after a mechanic is paralyzed and widowed in an attack.
So who are these guys?
We don't know yet. I do have a list of people of interest in that area, and just this week I brought in 2 people for questioning.
With a neurological implant that renders his body stronger than ever, he embarks on a revenge mission with an unpredictable virtual assistant. Upgrade is cyberpunk pulp with a horror production team helmed by Saw co-creator Lee Whannell. But beyond the gory action, conspiracy twists enrich an advanced commentary on modern technology. Whannell's slick filmmaking balances dark humor, chilling suspense, and dynamic storytelling. Meanwhile, Logan Marshall Green's committed performance sharpens the deep human factor.
How long do they VR for?
Days. Weeks.
Do they sleep?
Nope.
Why someone would choose to live in a fake world, I will never understand.
The fake world is a lot less painful than the real one.
The high-concept, cost-effective Upgrade was an immediate cult hit. As much as the cautionary tale contends with tropes, not many movies could improve on its premise. Number 25. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first?
No matter how it ended up, the sequel trilogy began with great promise. New franchise heroes Rey, Poe, and Finn were enjoyable inclusions. And Kylo Ren showed wider audiences how talented an actor Adam Driver is.
You need a teacher! I could show you the ways of the Force!
But it wasn't all new stuff. We loved returning to the galaxy far, far away a decade after the release of Revenge of the Sith. It felt like greeting an old friend, with J.J. Abrams' direction bringing technical improvements and a story reminiscent of A New Hope.
One hell of a pilot! Woo-hoo!
Star Wars is supposed to be fun, and The Force Awakens had that in spades. Number 24. Primer. Another sci-fi gem with a low budget, 2004's Primer follows 2 friends that accidentally invent time travel. But it's far from flashy, instead presenting the phenomenon through a more grounded, realistic approach.
Man, are you hungry? I haven't eaten since later this afternoon.
While trying to figure out its time travel and many versions of its characters will make your head spin, Primer is also a captivating cautionary tale. As the 2 friends begin to use their discovery for their own financial gain, their bodies and friendship begin to fail.
What if it wasn't something you wonder about, What if you knew for sure this is not the way things are supposed to be?
See, man, I'm not like that. I'm not into the whole destiny, there's only one right way
Babe,
thing.
I'm not either, okay? But what's worse, thinking you're being paranoid or knowing you should be?
Since its release at the Sundance Film Festival, where it won the Grand Jury Prize, the film has deservedly earned a passionate cult following. Number 23. Gravity.
Explorer's been hit. Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure.
Following a collision of space debris against the Space Shuttle Explorer, 2 astronauts must reach the International Space Station and make it back to Earth to survive. While Gravity is light on story, it's a visual marvel with almost 100% of its runtime including visual effects. Despite this, everything feels real and absolutely visceral. Its 91 minutes will have you on the edge of your seat and gasping for breath.
You tell her that I love her, Matt. You tell her that I love her so much.
Sandra Bullock rightfully earned her second Oscar nom for playing Dr. Ryan Stone, a character we root and cheer for. Among the movie's other 9 nominations, it won Best Visual Effects and earned Alfonso Cuarón a Best Director award. Number 22. Annihilation. While Ex Machina established writer-director Alex Garland's flair for metaphysical sci-fi, Annihilation took it to cosmically horrifying heights.
You said nothing comes back, but something has. Yes.
The fate of the world may depend on a military science expedition into an alien anomaly, as it clones and mutates all matter in its wake. The mind-bending journey is classic Lovecraftian horror by way of Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker. It's full of gruesome visuals and suspenseful action. But even more chilling is heavy themes on the fragile human mind and body, bolstered by devastating character arcs. There's much more to contemplate with Garland's bleak vision of worlds mingling.
Is it possible these were hallucinations?
I wondered that myself. But they were shared among all of us.
Niche or not, the much-discussed Annihilation captivates all who dare to enter its intense, thought-provoking metamorphosis in cosmic thrills. Number 21. Moon. Over the past decade or so, Sam Rockwell has risen to be an exceptional leading man, and we like to think his incredible work in Moon is where it started.
2 weeks to go, Sam.
2 weeks to go, buddy.
Astronaut Sam Bell runs a one-man facility on the moon to mine helium-3 as an alternate fuel source. With only an AI to keep him company, Sam prepares for the end of his contract and when he can return to his wife and daughter. Things take a turn when he discovers another version of himself, and the two Sams work together to uncover the truth.
It already says you're Sam Bell. I'm Sam Bell, too.
What?
Got that going for us.
Without giving everything away, Moon is a spectacular work of art that explores loneliness and what it means to be human. Number 20. Minority Reports. In a beautiful blend of sci-fi and crime noir, Steven Spielberg brings Philip K. Dick's short story to life in tremendous fashion.
Why'd you catch that? Because it was gonna fall. You're certain? Yeah. But it didn't fall. You caught it. The fact that you prevented it from happening doesn't change the fact that it was going to happen.
Set in a future where police can foresee future crimes, the program's commanding officer has to go on the run when he's the next suspect.
You don't have to chase me.
You don't have to run.
Everybody runs, Fletch.
Tom Cruise's John Anderton is an emotionally engrossing protagonist, searching for answers as he tries to outrun advanced technology. Minority Report isn't the first sci-fi film to navigate the theme of free will, but it masterfully explores it between riveting action sequences. It's some of Spielberg's best work. Number 19. Donnie Darko. A definitive cult classic, Richard Kelly's Donnie Darko is an enigma that's been pulling viewers in for over 2 decades now.
28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds.
After a man in a bunny suit named Frank saves him from being crushed by a jet engine, young Donnie Darko learns that the world will end in less than a month. The movie's unapologetically bizarre premise is further heightened by odd characters.
You're weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was a compliment.
Donnie's drive to understand what's happening to him echoes our own, though he also deals with the ups and downs of being a teenager. Dissecting the plot and ambiguous ending with others has made it one of the century's most enduring sci-fi films.
Going home.
Number 18. Godzilla -1. Almost 70 years into the definitive Kaiju brand, Godzilla -1 found a new depth in a symbol of the nuclear age.
あれはゴジラ。
The reboot more explicitly grapples with Japan's trauma and remorse after World War II. On top of that, they must deal with a rampaging monster born out of atomic mutation. The blockbuster surely delivers the spectacle that Godzilla fans crave. In fact, it was the first ever non-English film to win the Oscar for Best Visual Effects. But what really sets this installment apart is the scale of its human drama and social commentary. This made Godzilla -1 the highest grossing release in the Toho series, with many saying it might be the franchise's best installment since 1954. Number 17. Snowpiercer. Acclaimed filmmaker Bong Joon-ho proved his sci-fi chops in South Korea with the monster movie The Host. Then the rest of the world took notice of his phenomenal adaptation of Jacques Loeb and Jean-Marc Rochet's graphic novel Les Transpersonnages. In the near future, the Earth has entered a hostile new ice age due to a botched attempt to solve global warming.
What happens if the engine stops? We all freeze and die. But will it stop or will it stop? No, no! Can you tell us why?
The remains of humanity live in a massive, always-running train where the poor living in the back cars stage a revolution against their wealthy oppressors toward the front. Their journey for justice is equal parts thrilling, heartbreaking, and satirical. With a cast that includes Chris Evans, Tilda Swinton, Octavia Spencer, Jamie Bell, and John Hurt, there's plenty to love about Snowpiercer.
Precisely 74% of you shall die.
Number 16. Poor Things. Frankenstein stories have grown a lot through the ages. The creators of the irreverent period piece, The Favorite, gave the formula both surreal and raw new life in their lauded adaptation of Aleister Gray's Poor Things.
They sent you to me to care for you.
Dead.
I'm afraid so, my darling.
Poor Bella.
Emma Stone plays a Victorian Englishwoman who is reincarnated with the brain of an infant. As she expands her horizons across Europe, she puts into perspective profound feminist and philosophical themes. Whimsical science fantasy is just the foundation of this cutting satire with robust style and thorough characterization. At the heart of all the genre bending, Stone delivers what is widely considered the most layered performance of her career.
I am expecting a hug of solace. I need to offer something to the world. And yet I have nothing. Except some money. It is a bad day for Bella Baxter.
Poor Things is clearly rich in imagination, but its humanity is what's truly enchanting. Number 15. Avatar. James Cameron took 12 years to follow up his unprecedented blockbuster Titanic. Against all odds, Avatar more than returned on his investment. The space opera follows an Earthling who assimilates into an extraterrestrial world through the body of a humanoid species.
What was that all about?
Come. Come.
Disillusioned with his genocidal sponsors, he ultimately leads Pandora's revolt. It's not the most original story, but Cameron's technical innovations and dramatically vast storytelling were revolutionary. The instant classic epitomized the cinematic experience with spectacle and a conscience.
It's all over.
Nothing's over while I'm breathing.
I kind of hoped you'd say that.
Avatar shattered Titanic's record as the highest-grossing film of all time, then reclaimed the record on re-releases. 13 years later, Avatar: The Way of Water declared that Cameron's sequel series will be as sensational as the original. Number 14. Looper. Time travel has not yet been invented, but 30 years from now, it will have been. Thus begins Rian Johnson's brilliant sci-fi crime thriller. Loopers kill and dispose of people sent back by criminal organizations, even if the person is themselves. When one fails to get rid of his future self, he has to figure out how to catch him before the other loopers hunt him down for failing.
You're a loop. You lied to me. But I know you're not lying when you say you're gonna kill this guy. Your own self.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Emily Blunt give stellar performances. The film's slick plot oozes cool, and its visual effects, though sparse, offer bombastic action sequences. Number 13. Interstellar. Christopher Nolan's cerebral sci-fi has always had an undercurrent for humanity. Interstellar brings that to the center in the interest of humanity's survival, as NASA sends a team to explore a potential new homeworld.
You're asking me to hang everything on an almost.
I'm asking you to trust me.
The blockbuster incorporated groundbreaking research into esoteric physics in order to plausibly represent the perils of space travel and time dilation. That means deep existential drama for the astronauts as Earth ages more rapidly behind their harrowing journey. As astonishing as the effects and Nolan's direction are, Matthew McConaughey leads a nuanced ensemble with the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Okay. And for our next trick.
Overall, the renowned Interstellar marked a breakthrough in space spectacle that respects audiences' intelligence as much as technical and emotional engineering. Number 12. Blade Runner 2049.
Mr. Morton, if taking you in is an option,
much prefer that to the alternative.
Blade Runner is a phenomenal sci-fi film that doesn't need a sequel, is what we said before Denis Villeneuve's masterpiece. While it was a box office failure, this follow-up proved a worthy companion piece to Ridley Scott's original.
I've never retired something that was born before.
What's the difference?
To be born is to have a soul, I guess.
Upon finding evidence of a replicant-born child, Blade Runner and Replicant K is ordered to track down the child and kill them to avoid a war. While Ryan Gosling's K understandably shows a lack of emotion, his introspective journey takes him through a cavalcade of interesting characters, including the return of Harrison Ford's Rick Deckard.
I'm not here to take you in.
Oh, yeah? Then what?
I just have some questions.
Additionally, it's an absolutely gorgeous film that finally earned cinematographer Roger Deakins his first Oscar. Number 11, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. While Matt Reeves also closed out the trilogy fantastically, we have to give the spot to the middle entry. Following the outbreak of the simian flu, most of humanity has perished while Caesar and his apes have grown hyper-intelligent.
Apes! Do not want war, but will fight if we must.
This sequel reaches the same visual heights as the first, with Caesar once again flawlessly motion captured by Andy Serkis. Not only that, but the story soars as the apes clash with the surviving humans. Terrific set pieces bring the action to the forefront, and everything combines to make it a standout entry in this long-running franchise. Number 10, Ex Machina. Alex Garland is a genius sci-fi writer, though his directorial debut is his crowning achievement. After winning a work contest, programmer Caleb gets to spend a week with the CEO testing his latest invention, an android named Ava with artificial intelligence.
You shouldn't trust him. You shouldn't trust anything he says.
As the week progresses, Caleb finds himself torn between the enigmatic Nathan and Ava, who warns him not to trust her creator. The philosophical tale features fascinating conversations that will leave you discussing it for days. But there's also a palpable feeling of unease throughout, particularly personified by Oscar Isaac's Nathan.
One day the AIs are going to look back on us the same way we look at fossil skeletons in the plains of Africa. An upright ape living in dust with crude language and tools, all set for extinction.
Completely grounded yet unbelievably thrilling, Ex Machina will show you both the heights and depths of innovation. Number 9, District 9. Sci-fi often holds a mirror up to the disturbing real world, and District 9 is a scathing rebuke of xenophobia and apartheid.
We didn't have a plan. There was a million of them. So what was a temporary holding zone soon became fenced, became militarized, and before we knew it, it was a slum.
Following the arrival of insect-like aliens in South Africa, the government forces them into slums. One bureaucrat's life is turned upside down when he comes into contact with strange alien liquid that begins to mutate him. Afraid and disowned by his own organization, he's left to team up with one of the aliens.
Please, you don't. I need to hide. Okay. They want to kill me, all right? I just need to hide here, sir, for 5 minutes.
Although certain elements are fantastical, District 9's partial found footage approach and use of unknown actors makes it feel realistic. It earned 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Visual Effects. Number 8, Her.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
Her is very different from Ex Machina, but follows some similar themes. It tells the story of the lonely Theodore, a man who falls in love with Samantha, his artificially intelligent assistant. Emotionally distraught from his upcoming divorce, Theodore connects with Samantha on a new and unique level.
I wish you were in this room with me right now. I should put my arms around you.
could touch you.
At times sorrowful and at others heartwarming, the film is an engrossing look at the evolution of modern relationships, and it's uplifted by Joaquin Phoenix's beautiful portrayal of Theodore and Scarlett Johansson's intoxicating voiceover as Samantha.
You know, I can feel the fear that you carry around, and I wish there was something I could do to help you let go of it, because if you could, I don't think you'd feel so alone anymore.
It may not be as high concept as most other sci-fi films, but it is just as captivating. Number 7. Everything Everywhere All at Once. If the multiverse trope was played out in the 2020s, that's mostly because Everything Everywhere All at Once had the final say. During an IRS audit, a laundromat owner is recruited into an adventure to save all dimensions from a variant of her daughter.
I know you have a lot of things on your mind, but nothing could possibly matter more than this conversation we're having right now concerning the fate of every single world of our infinite multiverse.
What follows is irreverent dramedy, profound philosophy, and every style of action underlined by a powerful celebration of family and identity. Daniels, Kwan, and Scheinert embrace the absurdity of infinite realities with sophisticated style and emotional intelligence. Meanwhile, a phenomenal cast headed by the incomparable Michelle Yeoh perfectly juggles many tones.
What do you want? I want you. No! Stop it!
This won Everything Everywhere wide recognition as the fullest film of 2022. The Oscars certainly thought so. It may even be the gold standard for interdimensional and intergenre filmmaking. Number 6. Dune Part 2. Many filmmakers have struggled to realize Frank Herbert's staple of science fiction literature. Denis Villeneuve found great success in 2021 with the beginning of his 2-part adaptation of Dune. The follow-up was even bigger. A mining planet in the distant future is the site of a prophetic native uprising, with classically epic grandeur and modern technical splendor.
You fought well. Once you woke up.
I wasn't sleeping.
Against such massive world building is intense politics and heart-wrenching drama. Villeneuve respects Herbert's characters alongside his lore in a blockbuster that is as moving as it is entertaining.
You see the fear. And our resources are limited. Fear is all we have.
This interpretation of Dune is thus unanimously praised as the most faithful ahead of a conclusive adaptation of Dune Messiah. Part 2 alone is already being called one of the cinematic sci-fi events of its era. Number 5. Inception. Christopher Nolan has given us multiple sci-fi juggernauts this century. Just look at Interstellar. But his absolute best is the action-packed tale of dream implantation. Following a botched job, extractor Dom Cobb is offered the chance to return home to his children. All he has to do is something that no one has ever successfully pulled off: plant an idea in a target's subconscious. What follows is a thrilling heist through several levels of dreams, an incredible concept made better by supreme camera work. The cast is wonderful, the effects are mind-bending, and Nolan's direction once again proves he's an entirely original blockbuster filmmaker. Number 4. Arrival. Before Blade Runner 2049, Denis Villeneuve delivered this beautifully tragic sci-fi film. Amy Adams plays linguist Louise Banks, who's contracted by the U.S. government when alien spacecrafts arrive on Earth. It's Banks' job to decipher their language and figure out if they came in peace or are here for war.
Well, let's say that I taught them chess instead of English. Every conversation would be a game, every idea expressed through opposition. Victory, defeat, you see the problem? If all I ever gave you was a hammer...
Everything's a nail.
The aliens are more like an inciting incident, with the film exploring existentialism and philosophy through humanity's encounters with them. However, the movie also highlights how unimaginative loss and a mother's love can be exquisitely intertwined.
Can you come back to me?
We won't spoil the ending, but suffice to say, it's mind-blowing. Number 3. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like Her, the sci-fi elements of Eternal Sunshine are understated, with the film instead navigating technology's impact on us. Upon learning his girlfriend has erased him from her memory, Joel Barish signs up for the same procedure. He and the audience then relive their relationship in reverse. Unfortunately for Joel, he changes his mind midway through.
Pretty Swiak, please let me keep this memory. Just this one.
It's a haunting reminder of how hard it can be to let go of someone you've loved. And though its unique cinematography gives it an otherworldly appearance, it's a movie most of us can relate to. It's also some of the best work Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet have ever put out, which is saying a lot.
It would be different if we could just give it another go-round.
Remember me. Try your best.
Number 2. Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Although it had been 30 years since Beyond Thunderdome, George Miller showed there was plenty of life left in the Mad Max franchise. In fact, more life than there'd ever been. The post-apocalyptic film follows Max as he reluctantly aids a group of runaways, enslaved wives of the warlord Immortan Joe. Led by Furiosa, played by an impossibly good Charlize Theron, the group flees across the wasteland. With Joe in pursuit, the entire film is one explosive chase sequence after another. The effects and stunt work have us frequently picking our jaws off the floor. We weren't the only ones impressed, as Fury Road earned a plethora of awards. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Children of Men. In the not-too-distant future, mass infertility has pushed humanity to the point of near extinction. Many governments have fallen, with the UK becoming a police state due to rampant immigration. Children of Men is an incredibly bleak movie, but it's also one of hope, redemption, and love.
But she's pregnant.
Yeah, I know. It's a miracle, isn't it?
Upon meeting the first pregnant woman in decades, pessimist Theo must get her to safety. Performances from Clive Owen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Claire Hope Ashite are absolutely stunning. The film's unflinching cinematography puts you in each tense situation, leaving you breathless. It isn't a movie that'll leave your mind soon, and it's one of the best this century, let alone in the sci-fi genre. What are your favorite modern classics in sci-fi cinema? Participate in the comments.
Wasn't all bad, was it? Huh? Some of it was good.
Pretty good.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.